he's the guy who's expected to make plays for a full 40 minutes.
First meeting in 25 years between the programs. And we're off and running here in Raleigh with Michael O'Connell bringing the basketball up for NC State. A Wolfpack offense, 6 players averaging 10 or more through the first 2 games. Wins over Upstate and Presbyterian of the Big South. Brandon Huntley-Hatfield's been a big part of that. Going down low and into Amenhauser for the N1. What a start for Huntley-Hatfield down low.
Strong move by Brandon Huntley-Hatfield. He loves to get to the left hook. Strong statement off of the tip from NC State.
This was the matchup, the post play. It's a good battle right there.
I expect Kevin Keatts to look to go to Brandon Huntley-Hatfield all night long.
Huntley-Hatfield shooting at 84%, and Kevin said we need to get him the ball more, right? When players are that hot, you got to feed them early.
That's essential, especially for this NC State team who's looking for a premier scorer. He could be the guy for this NC State team.
There's Coastal Carolina's starting 5. Rasheed Jones is a former shooting guard converted to point as D.A. Houston makes his way back from an ankle injury. Amenhauser playing with the foul, double-figure rebounder down low. The Coastal team that battled in the 50s against ECU over the weekend. Here's Battle for 3. Way off from downtown. NC State's lineup features Taylor going right to the bucket, and what a good start in transition.
NC State loves scoring in transition. We mentioned that earlier. And, you know, if you're Coastal Carolina, you have to know that to get back on defense because NC State is looking to score in transition on the offensive end.
Over 30 points a game in transition for the Pack, who average nearly 90 a game. Here's Battle with an offensive foul into the arm of Jayden Taylor.
Well, one thing that NC State is doing is that they're denying the wings, making it tough for Coastal Carolina to get into their offense and forcing them to play one-on-one basketball.
2 early fouls, 2 turnovers for Coastal Carolina. After 2 slow starts at home here at the Lenovo Center, quick offense for Kevin Keatts' club. Huntley-Hatfield 1v1. Good fadeaway, and Amenhauser called for his 2nd foul. That's big, a minute and a half in. Amenhauser can't believe it as Kevin Keatts and his staff. Not only the 2-0 start, but a relatively new starting 5 for Kevin, fresh off the Final Four run. You've been a part of these teams at NC State. Really difficult to build that camaraderie from day one.
It is. Usually you get guys on campus around May, June time, and season starts in November. So it's essential that this team takes time to mesh together and get on the right page.
Kevin Keatts welcomed 2 inter-conference transfers as Coastal Carolina goes to Colin Granger off the bench. Brandon Huntley-Hatfield, double-figure scorer for the Pack. He's one of only 14 players to go inter-conference, and you did that at Virginia, Casey. What's the mindset going from one school to another?
Well, there's definitely the familiarity piece. One thing about Brandon Huntley-Hatfield, he got a good feel for NC State as an opponent, and that's how it was for me when I transferred into NC State. I got a good idea of what I was walking into because I had played against it a significant amount of times.
An ACC champ and a Final Four trip later. Intra-conference transfers, big part of the ACC. As Granger nearly travels. 7-0 start for the Pack. Rasheed Jones for 3. Really good look. You mentioned in the open, if Jones needs a bucket, he's been the guy this year for Coastal, shooting at 60%.
And that's what NC State is trying to give up, especially when they blow up the plays.
Huntley-Hatfield misses his first shot. Offensive board, right back up. And a jump ball, good reach from Denzel Hines.
Rasheed Jones, step back, 3.
What if I told you the guy just can't miss? 7 of 11 in his first 3 games from deep.
He's been hot, and a lot of his buckets come within rhythm. As you've seen there, he was in rhythm on that step back with Brandon Huntley-Hatfield slowly drifting up off of him. He had space.
Good defensive pressure from Marcus Hill, the Bowling Green transfer. It's an element of an NC State defense. They love to play press, force double-digit turnovers. Coastal has 2 mistakes so far as Battle brings it up. Mio on the switch. Clock to 6. Mio cuts back, no space. Mio needs help. Battle with one, and that's late. Shot clock violation, tremendous defense.
Kevin Keatts is looking to take Coastal Carolina out of their offense. I don't think Coastal Carolina has run one play yet, and that's something that they take pride in, is running their offense to get open looks.
Kevin Keatts club second in the country in points in transition, forcing a ton of turnovers. And they forced 3 here in this first media timeout. Trey Styles cuts down low, so O'Connell gets space and hits his first bucket.
NC State has a ton of movement on the offensive end. The ball is getting from side to side, and that's something that Kevin Keatts encourages, ball getting on both sides of the court to get an open shot.
3 different players have scored for the Pack tonight. Tough drive. No options for Battle, and an offensive foul again. That's on Granger. What is NC State doing well to limit these possessions?
NC State is disrupting their tempo, and it's only by denying the wings. Coastal Carolina has yet to run a play, and that's something that they're looking to do, and NC State knows that. So if you're Coastal, it's essential to get open so that you can run your sets.
Wolfpack have forced 4 turnovers, no easy looks for the Chanticleers. Here's Taylor with a wide open 3, and that's off. Battle the board. Battle, great crossover, but nowhere to go. Coastal scored 52 points on Saturday. Jones earns a defensive foul. That's on Huntley-Hatfield underneath, his first.
NC State is trying to make Rashid Jones work for everything. He's one of the only scorers who could get hot at any moment, and NC State knows that, so they're trying to wear him down by throwing different guys on him and increasing the pressure. As we see, as the game continues, they're going to increase the pressure on the defensive end.
Ben Middlebrooks, the Clemson transfer, year 2 here with the Pack, checks in. He's been a double-double machine in 2 games. More tight pressure from O'Connell. Battle penetrates, draws a lot of contact, and that's O'Connell's second foul. Do you leave him in here if you're Kevin Keatts? What's the thought process here?
I think at this point you take him out. Okay. I wouldn't take him out for the rest of the half. I think you kind of have to feel it out, feel the flow of the game. But with Breon coming in, I don't think there'll be too much of a drop-off.
Breon Pass now in his senior season, checks in at nearby Reidsville, North Carolina. Rashid Jones, the junior college transfer, 17 points a game. He's got the lone bucket. Good time, Granger there.
Rashid Jones, he's a crafty playmaker, and he's going to be forced to make a lot of reads tonight.
Jayden Taylor off the pick. Good space, and he's 2 for 2. Now more full court pressure. Coastal 5 turnovers in these first 4 minutes. Remember, starting point guard D.A. Houston remains out, battling an ankle injury. So Mio into a double. Mio blows by. Hello, Mio. That's how you beat some pressure.
With NC State denying the wings, that's going to be there. Those drives are going to be there. And they're moving Ben Middlebrooks away from the basket, so NC State loses a rim protector on those drives.
Then Middlebrooks uncorks a 3. Defensive board, Coastal trailed 8-0 out of the break. Granger rocking a 1970s mustache. He's got some swab to him down low. Loses the basketball. And a foul on Middlebrooks. Sends us to timeout. NC State hot start early, but Coastal Carolina battling back here, Casey. And we'll take the timeout with NC State up 4. Red hot start for the Louisville transfer, Brandon Huntley-Hatfield, who came in last year in double figures. He's got 5 points early tonight. This impact of the post play down low, what a presence does that make for NC State?
Well, we're going to see that all year long. NC State splitting minutes between Ben Middlebrooks and Brandon Huntley-Hatfield. Brandon Huntley-Hatfield provides a spark for NC State on the scoring side of the ball by looking to go to him early, as we've seen tonight. First few plays are straight to him. And we're going to expect that as the game goes on.
They've combined for 5 points, 3 rebounds tonight. Coastal trailed 8-0 early, found a spark as Henry Abraham checks in for the shots. Battle is fouled on the drive. That's the first on Marcus Hill, the Bowling Green transfer.
Coastal Carolina is looking to drive. It's tough for them to get open looks, so they're going to have to drive to get opportunities to score.
Looking to drive with a Ford Mustang down Highway 1 in California, putting those great legs to work. This is an aggressive attacking basketball team in Coastal. Average 30 points of paint coming in. Battle. Great find, Granger off the window. I love the passing there.
They're making NC State work with their ball movement. NC State has yet to play a team like Coastal Carolina that passes it and moves with their own pace.
Here's a quick drive, and NC State responds. Trey Parker's first bucket. He's from the 910, just down the street in Fayetteville. Henry Abraham, the lone returner from last year's club. 13 new faces. And how can you not find Abraham with those neon kicks? Battle doubled. A lot of pressure. Granger escapes. Down to 2. Back to Granger. And he doesn't get it off. Nice defense from NC State. For Coastal Carolina, Justin Gray has done a nice job rebuilding this program. Took over for the longtime coach Cliff Ellis. Gray, who had a 20-win season at Western a year ago, and more impressively was a teammate of CP3 in college. What a great developer of young men.
Justin Gray, and those are his principles. Relentless, compete, and together. And he's displayed that during his time at Coastal Carolina.
This team showed a ton of toughness early, down 8-0. They battled back as that ball goes out of bounds. And Chris Paul noted his former roommate. He said, hey, I don't even know if I was the best player in my dorm room. Just to mention an ACC champion, a great all-time ACC player who spent a decade playing overseas. This is a good player, too, not just a great coach.
That holds a lot of weight when a guy like Chris Paul acknowledges you to this extent.
That's Wake Forest royalty. The Thanksgiving dinners with Duncan and Coach Gray and Coach Paul. That pass intercepted. The pack in transition. Middlebrooks rises and blocked. Granger going up. Jones, Abraham, back to Jones. Catch and shoots. Knocked in. Good transition from the shots.
Coastal Carolina is matching NC State's energy. As we've seen there, they did a great job getting back on defense and forcing a tough contested layup, which led to an easy open bucket on the offensive end for Coastal Carolina.
An 8-point game's turned to 1. Here's Breon pass. Difficult ball. Middlebrooks into traffic. He heads to the line. That's the second on Granger as Coastal Carolina coming back to life.
Coastal Carolina is forcing NC State to shoot tough shots. That's something that has led to this game being as close as what it is.
It was 8-0 out of the gates, and some wondered, hey, would NC State blow the doors off? But to Coastal's credit, they've handled this pressure. Now with Granger having 2 fouls, Mabor Majak, the grad senior from Cleveland State, checks in. He is 7'1" and 250. He's a mammoth of a man. So the Pack will make a sub themselves. The 6'10" Brandon Huntley-Hatfield. 7'1", 250 just sounds difficult, right? Like there's Yao Ming size of 7'6", but when you're bulky and tall, I don't know how you drive against that.
If you're Coastal Carolina, that rim presence matters. If you're a guard, especially 6 foot and below, you're going to think twice before driving in the paint.
Yeah, Breon Pass might be having nightmares as he's guarding right below Majok. Excellent work from Mio. He lost it. Can Brass put it to the test? Taylor rises up and beats the defense. Timeout, shot it clears. Well, the size of Majok can't keep up with the speed. The battle of the tortoise and the hare. Advantage NC State. We'll take the timeout.
To build on that victory this upcoming season.
Justin Gray, who actually recruited a name very familiar here, DJ Burns at Winthrop when he won a conference title under Pat Kelsey. Was playing foreign basketball up until 4 years ago, and now a Division I head coach. What a run. The shot clears. We're down as many as 8 now. 4-point game. As Battle swings it to Rasheed Jones, top point guard. Clock down to 5. Look at this active defense. Late in the clock, Maleba, and another offensive foul. That's a push. That's one area we've seen from State tonight. They've drawn 4 offensive fouls.
As we've seen out of the timeout, Kevin Keatts has given Jayden Taylor the assignment to guard Rasheed Jones.
And you played against Taylor. How tough was that assignment?
It's tough because he does a good job of disrupting your tempo. He doesn't let you get a rhythm. He knows Rasheed Jones is a rhythm guy. So he's doing everything that it takes to take him out of his rhythm. As we've seen there, it forced a shot clock violation for Coastal Carolina.
Second year at State for Taylor. He learned that Butler toughness in the Big East in his previous stop. Anchors a State defense that's forced 10 turnovers tonight. Here's Taylor down low. Jayden throws it to the wrong color. That's a teal turnover. I'm getting chameleon vibes from the Coastal bench. It's like you change the color and try to disrupt the offensive player. Because you probably pass to the wrong color from time to time.
It happens. It happens. Happens to the best of us.
Alongside an ACC champ in Casey Morcell, I'm Evan Budrovich. Justin Gray, who also was among the best of the ACC 20 years ago with Chris Paul. That was his roommate and former teammate. Denzel Hines breaks the press. He's a High Point transfer coming back to the state of North Carolina. Rasheed Jones needs some help. Hines with 10. Nice double team. More pressure. Majok to the floor. Gets out. Finds Hines. He strips. And he'll stay here with 2 seconds. No easy looks for Coastal.
As we've seen there, NC State has really active hands, trying to get as many deflections as possible. Their goal is to get at least 40+ deflections, and they have a winning record whenever they succeed that amount.
That 4-7 turnovers and making life really difficult. So 2 seconds for Battle. Mio finds Battle. Battle gets it off. What an angle, but no good. But State can't corral the board in a fresh 30. Those are heartbreaking possessions.
Rebounding is a skill. Finishing possessions is a skill. And it's something that it's the details, just squeezing it instead of trying to tap it and grab it with one hand.
It's a skill that allowed Zach Edey to lead the country. Double-digit rebounds a year ago for the Purdue All-American.
Height helps.
Now, height and great skill. He's now in the NBA doing great things with Memphis. Here's a foul. And you played against Edey. I mean, that is not only elite size, but what he's doing translating to the bigs, that's a tough task in the NBA.
Zach Edey does a great job of keeping the game simple. He understands his size. He knows the presence that he leaves in the paint. Purdue did a great job of constantly drawing up plays to get him easy baskets.
That matchup in the Final Four was spectacular. 2 good basketball teams there. Now Edey in the NBA. Back here in Raleigh, we got a 4-point difference halfway through the first half. Rasheed Jones has faced every defender on the court for NC State. Here's Huntley-Hatfield. So Jones fires. That's off. Second chance. Here's Hill. Hill rolls in, and no. A little Mutombo sighting here in Raleigh.
Marcus Hill looks to drive in transition. And as we've seen there, when Coastal Carolina saw that Marcus Hill had the ball in his hands, they kind of retreated off of him because they weren't expecting him to ever pull it up or shoot a three. As seen there, they decided to meet him at the rim because they knew he was getting to his left hand.
To your point, Hill only has 2 threes this year. He's largely in the lane. So Coastal plays the numbers, and they play it right. Here's Taylor. Nice pick and roll, but bad pass. Coastal with numbers. It's Jones. Majok rolls in and is fouled. Maber Majok, he runs that fast break well, too, as a big guy.
Great job by Maber Majok running the floor. Coastal Carolina has been surprisingly faster than what we've expected, but they're just playing the way that NC State is giving them. The NC State's giving them a lot of transition opportunities, and they're taking full advantage of it.
Majok looks to break a scoring drought at 2.5 minutes for Coastal. And for 7'1", 250, this Majok, he can really hustle.
Maber Majok does a great job of running the floor, especially for his size. There aren't many bigs that run with that type of pace throughout the country.
This 3-point game, Coastal's gone 3 minutes scoreless until this bucket. And now Majok will sub out for Amenhauser. How about this 2 fouls coming in halfway through the first?
Surprising move by Justin Gray to throw Amenhauser in with a little less than 10 minutes in the first half. We expect NC State to try to attack him so he can pick up his 3rd foul.
Look how far Amenhauser's playing back, daring somebody to drive. And Hill draws the foul. Let's see who this is on. That's a foul away from Amenhauser. That's Mio with the reach.
Once again, as we've seen, Marcus Hill is looking to attack Amenhauser. He knows that he has 3 fouls, so they're trying to put as much pressure on him so he can pick up his 3rd.
This is the 5th free throw for NC State. Pardon me, now the 6th free throw. They're 4 or 5. And you want to attack that as a player, knowing Amenhauser has 2.
Because he's a big loss for Coastal Carolina with his rim presence and presence on both ends of the floor.
Now Amenhauser catching the rock here. Good slip. Hines creates and a block. Stiles forces it. Here comes Parker. Trey Parker kicks. Taylor 3. Just off and out of bounds.
Once again, what we've seen from that possession is NC State's active hands leads to good shots on the other end of the floor. Jayden Taylor came up short on that shot, but that's still a great look.
Even on the missed 3, you see why NC State's averaged 30 points in transition.
One thing NC State will do is they will test your transition defense, and that's something that they've done with Coastal Carolina tonight.
Leading to a really good 3-point look, but a miss. The Pack have been shooting it well, 48% tonight. And coming in, they're 2nd in the country in running the fast break. Have lived on it against Presbyterian and USC Upstate. Now tonight, Coastal Carolina. A former Big South school now in the Sun Belt. Amenhauser battling down low. That's off. Little tip drill, Hines, and he cleans it up.
Coastal Carolina doing an exceptional job attacking and putting pressure on the rim, forcing 2nd and 3rd opportunities for Coastal Carolina to get a bucket.
Chanticleers have also upped the physicality in this first half. A team that was held to 52 points on Saturday. They found some offense tonight. Tough look, knocks it in easy. That's Trey Parker.
Tough shot by Trey Parker. Once again in rhythm, he shot it in the flow of the offense.
That forces Justin Gray to call a timeout, nearly a 5-second call. And that'll be
tough shot by Trey Parker. Getting to his spots, he saw the defender cut him off. Great instincts by stopping and going straight into the step back.
So Justin Gray wanted the timeout. It was not granted by Terry Oglesby, so that's a 5-second violation. And the Pack have just forced their 10th turnover. Huntley-Hatfield on a switch. Parker swings it. It was an open shooter, and instead of travel, and now nearing the media timeout.
One thing Jayden Taylor has to clean up is valuing the ball. Coastal Carolina is trying to make them uncomfortable, and they're forcing them to turn it over, which has led to easy baskets on the other end for Coastal.
That allows Breon Pass to re-enter, a former state champ in football and basketball at Reidsville. And his Reidsville Ram team, they've won 35 straight games.
That's hard to do at any level.
Incredible at the 2A level here at North Carolina's high school football playoffs start this week. Hines is down low. What a tussle into the body and hits it. NC State on this end, 3 turnovers on 4 possessions. So a foul drawn. Huntley-Hatfield breaks that stretch, leading to immediate timeout. We got a 2 to this Coastal Carolina team, and I love this story. Charles Dunlap, a walk-on, who joined the team from the club basketball team. But Casey, you got a new staff coming together, and you got to put this team together in about 2 months.
And I spoke with Justin Gray earlier about this. The one thing he mentioned is culture, building a strong culture. And that's something that we saw earlier in shoot-around. They were so detailed, so connected, and they're so vocal. It's essential for them to understand that it's going to take time. And what happens where you start, it's not about where you finish. So Justin Gray has a good group on his hands, and I know he's looking forward to the future.
Coastal team that went 5-13 in the league a year ago in the Sun Belt, but much improved roster as Huntley-Hatfield makes a couple free throws. This is the area the last 4 minutes. We haven't seen NC State has only forced 1 turnover in the last 6 minutes. Coastal's handled this pressure a lot better.
And that's who NC State is. NC State is going to throw different presses at you, as you see now what they call it's a 2-2-1.
And that's a 10-second violation. Perfect defense.
And forcing a turnover. That's what they want you to do. NC State has yet to run that type of press this game. I think it caught Coastal by surprise.
I feel like you guys need wristbands as NC State players with all the press coverages you run. Like a quarterback out there, there's just so many different looks.
There are. It's a full playbook just for the press.
And that press has forced nearly 30 transition points a game for the Pack. Down low, Huntley-Hatfield fighting for space. Has the double. More pressure and nearly a steal. Battle knocks it out.
Coastal Carolina bringing the pressure on Brandon Huntley-Hatfield. If NC State plays it the right way, that should lead to an open shot. Because if Brandon Huntley-Hatfield is drawing 2, there's going to be 1 open for NC State. So
Breon Pass misses the jumper. Defensive board. Battle throws it ahead. Here comes Brown. What can Brown do for you? Down low, Maleba kicks it. Battle shot fake. Another pass stolen. Machak hangs on no. Tip drill tipped out. Second board, Brown. Battle again. Off on the 3. Tipped Machak. Defensive board. Buckle up, Parker. This is week 2 of the basketball season. Hill penetrates. Pass. Steps in. Misses the J. A rare slow possession tonight in the Lenovo. Up top, Maleba. He's yet to score tonight, but impactful on the boards. Jones operates. Good find. Machak kicks it. Battle swings it. Another extra pass. Off on the 3.
Coastal Carolina had a good look there. Everyone touched the ball that possession.
And an offensive foul on Huntley-Hatfield away from the ball. That's his first. How do you handle this tempo, right? It goes from really fast, really slow. How do you adjust as a player?
Well, it's essential to read the defense, right? In this game, both defenses are trying to speed each other up. They're trying to speed up the offense. And it's essential just to stay poised. I think both teams are trying to play fast and hit what I call home runs. It's essential just to hit singles and try to get the easy basket.
Hit enough singles, then Freddie Freeman hits a grand slam and you win the World Series earlier this winter. Coastal, though, down just 4. Jones up top. State has put all different types of bodies on him, including Styles now in the game. Hines fades, calling glass. That's strong.
And if you're Rashid Jones, you're going to see that all night. The way NC State plays, they like to switch multiple positions. So everyone has to be ready to guard him.
Hill's turn. What a dime, Middlebrooks there. I love the feed from the point guard.
Marcus Hill getting in the paint, drawing a lot of attention. Coastal Carolina knows he's looking to drive, and it led to an easy opportunity for Ben Middlebrooks.
State forced a 10-second violation on the last possession. They'll back it out with 5 minutes left in the half. Jones tripled. Majok. Hines swings. Clock to 7. NC State playing hard on this end. Maleba off on the 3. Coastal's missed 5 straight triples.
Those are the shots NC State wants you to shoot. Contested threes off of the dribble.
And Coastal wants Middlebrooks to take that 3 on this end.
I think if you're Coastal Carolina, they're living with that as well. NC State is tough to guard, and that's something that they're willing to give up, is a 3 by Ben Middlebrooks.
Middlebrooks now 1 for 2 on the young season. Here's Jones. He gets space. Oh, that's a risky business. 70% from 3, Rashid Jones.
Rashid Jones, all of his threes have come in rhythm. He caught it, took 2 steps, and that's something that he likes as he gets into his shot.
And you see there he was firing up his bench, too.
On the road, that's what you're going to need. You're going to need everyone. Even the guys who don't play, everyone's a part of road games in order for you to be successful.
Coastal hasn't picked up an ACC win since 2008, and there's a bucket for Donzel Styles. How do the Chanticleers hang with the pack tonight?
Well, they're going to need to keep this energy up for a full 40 minutes. NC State takes pride in trying to speed you up and disrupt tempo. And if Coastal Carolina can stay poised, they're going to be in this game for the long run.
There's the tempo, and a foul in transition. Jayden Taylor making it happen. Well, you've spoken into existence, Casey. A little turnover, a little transition, and now a 7-point game.
Once again, NC State getting in the passing lane for an easy opportunity on the other end.
Second week of the college hoop season, and we got a fun one between Coastal and NC State. First meeting since 1998. And NC State living in transition out of the timeout. Jayden Taylor looks to complete a 3-point play. Band's getting a little tired. I mean, it's only 7:45. I know daylight savings is kicking in, but goodness. Got to get these kids some coffee.
I think it'll turn up as NC State starts to get going.
Those 9 o'clock ACC games, Carolina Duke, Carolina NC State, you get up for those late at night too.
Found a way, you have to. You have no other option.
Got to rally the troops. ACC play starts a little earlier this year, early December matchup. That ball's tipped out of play. First minutes for Ismail Diouf, the product of Quebec. That's his first minutes of the year for Diouf, the Laval College transfer. Maybe on the all-mustache team. He's got to keep that all the way through March. With Hatfield in foul trouble, Middlebrooks stay on the floor. Diouf checks in. Here's the pick and pop. Jones swings it. Battle penetrates. Nice drive. And the foul. Whoa, Jordan Battle growing up in front of our eyes.
Strong move by Jordan Battle, reading the closeout from Breon Pass. He knew he had the smaller defender on him and decided to finish strong.
Jordan Battle from Utah Valley. He also played community college in Utah. This kid's fired up. Shot 4 of 15 at East Carolina. This is a good bounce back game for number 15.
The one thing about these types of games is that it's an opportunity for Coastal Carolina to showcase their skills against high-level competition. And what better platform is it to do it against the reigning ACC champs in NC State?
Yeah, the shots. This is their lone Power 4 matchup of the year. It's a big game circled on Justin Gray's calendar, who himself played at Wake Forest 20 years ago. Hill, little pick and pop. And he hits the jumper. That's an old school elbow jumper right there.
Once again, Marcus Hill getting another paint touch. He might lead NC State in paint touches alone. He's living in the paint, which leads to easy opportunities for NC State to score.
Last 4 buckets for the Pack, all in the paint. As Abraham blows by, Majak wants the dribble handoff. That's not there. NC State extending its defense. Taylor escapes. Clock to 2. How about Jones? He hits it! From the Wolf, howling.
Big time shot by Rashid Jones. He is here to play, and he is not going to go out without a fight.
And a foul underneath. Now, this range from Jones, like there's Steph Curry range, there's Casey Morsell range, and then there's Rashid Jones range.
You give him space, you never know what can happen. Jayden Taylor gave him a tad bit of space, and that's all he needed.
Does he actually think that shot's going in?
I don't think so. I don't think
Because that
so.
reaction's like cold-blooded Steve Austin. Like he knew it was going in.
That's deflating if you're NC State.
How about Rashid Jones? 9 3-pointers in his first 3 games. He just looked up at the video board, watched the replay. Like, that's when you know you're cooking from 3-point range. Jones, who has a neat story. He played at Western under Justin Gray, but was a redshirt. Went the community college route to Northwest Florida State and found his home back with Coach Gray here in Myrtle Beach.
He said it earlier, we're going to need a big night from Rashid Jones. He's the guy expected to go and make the big plays, and isn't he doing that tonight?
Jones at double figures with 12, getting Coastal back within 5. That's an offensive foul on Majak. It's his second. So Amenhauser, Granger, and Majak have 2 fouls each.
I would expect Coastal Carolina to kind of reduce their pressure heading into halftime. Less than 2 minutes left. It's no point to try to increase it and put yourself at risk to pick up another foul.
Final 2 minutes here in Raleigh as Brandon Huntley-Hatfield re-enters. Hatfield fighting down low against Majak, double. Taylor swings it, extra pass. Hill in his NBA 2K range, spin move and the jumper.
Strong move by Marcus Hill, increasing his range, getting straight to his sweet spot.
So Hill has 6. Here's Abraham drawing a foul, 19 foul on the Pack, so free throws. Go ahead.
One thing about Marcus Hill is that he just plays hard. I think that's why Kevin Keatts plays him for such a significant amount of time. He plays so hard, and that leads to the energy and opportunities for NC State to be successful.
It's a young Casey Morsell with that physicality, that toughness.
I think he might be on another level.
Humbleness and modesty will take you a long way here in the broadcast business. With Casey Morsell and Evan Budrovich, Abraham to the line. Nice free throws, so we got a 5-point game.
And with Coastal Carolina, after speaking with Coach Gray earlier, the way they play, it's tough to kind of go on a run because they try to slow it down and reduce the amount of possessions that you get.
Huntley-Hatfield on Majak. Good battle down low, no. And a foul on the board. That's against Styles and over and back. That's his second. Oh, he had the hands underneath.
This rebounding matchup has definitely gotten physical. Both teams are trying to crash the glass and get second and third opportunities. So we're going to see a good amount of offensive fouls potentially heading into the second half.
Coastal +5 on the boards tonight. Kevin Keatts pleading his case. Denzel Hines makes Coastal 6 of 6 from the free throw line. The shots entered this game pretty staggering, 61% from the free throw line. Not a problem tonight.
You don't want free throws to come back and haunt you. This Coastal team has been in 2 very close games. They won their first one. They came up short in the second one. But they've been very close and have come down to free throws and last-minute possessions.
Clock to 10 for Hill, and there's a foul on the drive. That's Abraham's first. Both teams in the bonus. Marcus Hill, who was a 20-point-a-game scorer for the Falcons of Bowling Green. Shooting in front of a Wolf, that just seems distracting. Like I've shot in front of Bigfoot, I imagine all the different animals, but a large wolf just putting his paws over the basket.
You're right. You don't see that every day. You do not see that every day.
And a matchup of Roosters and Wolves here on ACC Network Extra. Majok falls to the floor. It's a little 4v5. Jones has range from here. Swings it. Majok not comfortable in his jumper. Great pass. Battle there. The vision of Majok really good.
NC State has been miscommunicating for a good amount of possessions on the defensive end, and Majok took full advantage of it.
We'll take a quick timeout, wrap up the first half, and we return here to the Lenovo Center. That young man understands the assignment. His third NC State home game of the year. The Wolfpack in a tight battle here with Coastal Carolina. Two foes that haven't met since 1998. And we checked the numbers. None of these players were alive in 1998 when Justin Timberlake was rocking the world.
Wow. Taught me something new.
And that game was in Reynolds Coliseum back in the day. Fast forward 25 years later, the newly named Lenovo Center. Still working on the best nickname, but we'll figure that out as time goes on.
One thing we can expect from Kevin Keatts coming out of the timeout is a look for Huntley-Hatfield to get a touch right in the paint.
Taylor inside, and three in the key on Huntley-Hatfield. That play slow developing. So Coastal now 4 seconds. What's the play here for the shots?
Well, if you're Coastal, you're definitely looking to kick it ahead. I wouldn't do anything unnecessary.
So Jones brings it up. 2 seconds. Jones with one. Can he do it again? Not that time. A rare miss for Rashid Jones. He's got 12 at the break and a tight 2-point game at halftime.
Coastal Carolina matching NC State's physicality and energy on both ends of the floor, which leads to a 2-point. And NC State has been able to capitalize on the other end off of Coastal Carolina's turnovers.
Yeah, 7 fast break points for NC State. This is one of the tighter matchups all time between these three. NC State's dominated the first 3 meetings, but you fast forward 25 years and we revamp as Michael O'Connell walks it up for the Pack.
One thing I would say, I was not expecting Kevin Keatts to sit Michael O'Connell for the entire first half.
Only played a handful of minutes in foul trouble as there's a touch ball underneath. He only played 6 minutes in that first half. O'Connell in those 6 minutes was +6. That's when the Pack were rolling early. Now Taylor to work. He starts the second half with a bucket. Give him 11.
Jayden Taylor has done a great job this year of finding out which spots make him comfortable to get his shots.
So 2 in double figures. Taylor 11, Jones 12, and Amenhauser in with those 2 fouls. That's been a physical matchup. Huntley-Hatfield and a steal. O'Connell runs the break. O'Connell is fouled. That's Jones's first. How did the Pack capitalize on that transition in this half?
Well, it's essential. It starts on the defensive end, right? Like I said earlier, NC State is looking to get as many deflections as possible. The goal is around 40, but usually those deflections lead to steals, which leads to easy opportunities on the other end.
Like that free throw right there. I mean, it's 12 points off turnovers for the Pack. That's been the differentiator tonight. And with O'Connell back in the game, a good ball handler who was battling foul trouble in the first half. Another miss. And a fight. Good save. Pass complete. Taylor going mid-range. Jay all night. He's got 13.
Once again, Jayden Taylor getting to his mid-range. Been a hot spot for him, as we've seen since the start of the season.
Good drive. Jones. He goes to the bucket. No. And a defensive board for Styles. O'Connell pushing tempo. Good find Hill. Amenhauser stands firm. And Huntley-Hatfield fouled. So the Pack running out of the gates, +5, and looking to add to it out of the half.
Once again, that possession all started with NC State's defense, forcing Coastal Carolina to shoot a quick shot, and led to an easy opportunity for Brandon Huntley-Hatfield to keep it alive and get to the line.
Hands in the cookie jar there for Rasheed Jones. 2 fouls in 2 minutes. And the Pack now 11 of 16 from the line. That was one of the bugaboos for the Pack team last year. No offense. 60% as a team from the free throw line. How do they improve on that here in 24?
Focus. Focus. It's essential just to take your time. I think this NC State team is bound to be a better free throw shooting team just because they're deeper. So fatigue isn't going to be as big of a threat in terms of trying to lock in on the free throw line.
That Final Four team averaged 7 or 8 guys playing minutes deep in that March run. This year's team will have 10 or more guys step in. Here's great pressure, O'Connell. Coastal barely escapes with Granger. So Granger lost it more. Turnovers. Taylor rising, finger roll. And one chance for Taylor.
NC State has increased their pressure coming out of the half, and they're capitalizing on the other end.
And Mio tried his best to avoid that foul, and Taylor knew he had tripped the cam op right in front of him. His name is Tripp. He did not trip him, just to be clear. As Taylor makes the free throw.
NC State is in a full court man press. Something we've seen throughout most of the night, but it's making this Coastal Carolina team uncomfortable. As we see here, they're shooting quick shots, and that's what NC State wants you to do.
Good drive by Mio to stop the 10-0 run. But really, it's on this end. How does Coastal get some stops to stay in this game?
It's essential for Coastal to hold NC State to one shot and done. NC State
There's one shot. Offensive board. The kryptonite to what you're just saying. And then a foul compounds it. Coastal committing its 4th foul of the half.
Those second and third opportunities is what's been big for NC State, keeping it alive and putting pressure and testing Coastal Carolina's defensive rebounding abilities.
Huntley-Hatfield throws it off the glass. Now Jordan Battle. Coastal just 2 points in this half. Granger. No easy look for Battle. Hanging on with that left foot. Jones wants 5 threes. He's got it. In fuego.
Tough shot by Rasheed Jones. He's hit a lot of deflating buckets. As we've seen there, Michael O'Connell, a solid defender, making him shoot a tough contested step back. If you're NC State, you're living with that shot.
Jones is 5 of 6 from deep. On this end, Huntley-Hatfield's going to work. Good double team. Into the trees. Count it. Another 3-point chance for the Pack.
Huntley-Hatfield, or as we've seen Rasheed Jones shooting a tough 3, and Brandon Huntley-Hatfield coming on the other end, noticing a smaller defending on him, just overpowers, finishes with an easy and one.
That's Mio's 4th foul. We'll see if he stays in for much longer. Coastal not as deep as NC State. They'll go 8 or 9 deep. And a 3-point play. That'll force in Abraham in the game. Now, Abraham's the distributor. 2.6 assist to turnover ratio. He really dishes out the rock. He's the card dealer in Vegas. Never hit on above 16. Let the dealer bust.
Really?
Good tip for down the road if you're ever in Vegas again. With Casey Morsell and Evan Budrovich. Battle deals a layup and banks it in.
Battle's done a great job attacking the basket. Hasn't been shooting it great, so he knows that's how he's going to get his opportunities is from driving the ball.
So Battle has 7. Jones with 15 to lead the way for Coastal. On this end, Hill. Pack have had 8 different players score, including number 8 Taylor with 2 more. 18 for Jayden.
Jayden Taylor has done an exceptional job of reading the defense. The defender is guessing.
There's a foul on Taylor. You mentioned the defender's guessing, though.
Jayden Taylor leaving the defender guessing, meaning that he doesn't know, you don't know how to necessarily guard him. He could shoot it, he could drive it, and Jayden Taylor is doing a great job of reading the defender. That's why he's mixing in a good amount of drives and pull-up twos in order to get going for NC State.
Those old school buckets leave him 10 points shy of a career best. That was 28 against Pitt a year ago. And he's leading the way with 18 tonight. Abraham breaks this modified press for the Pack. Battle left alone. He thought he was fouled. And now a foul on the floor. We'll take the timeout as Jayden Taylor extends his lead to 10 for NC State.
Jayden Taylor scoring in a variety of ways, getting to his spots and putting pressure on this Coastal Carolina defense. Jayden Taylor scoring in a variety of ways. And for Jayden, it's starting on the defensive end. He's jumping in past the lanes, and that's what's leading to easy opportunities in transition. He's going to need to keep that up if NC State wants to win comfortably in this game.
A lot of mid-range Jays, a lot of transitions for Taylor. Second year here for the Pack, and a layup out of the timeout for Denzel Hines. Before that bucket, Taylor was outscoring Coastal in the second half. Taylor on this end continues to cook. O'Connell, tough look, way short. That's an air ball. How does Coastal play off this good defense?
Well, it's essential for Coastal to keep following their principles. One thing Coastal is doing is they're mixing up their ball screen coverage. They're throwing in what coaches call an ice, which basically avoids the guard from coming off screens. And they're mixing in just a variety of ball screen coverages, which keeps NC State on their toes.
Now Coastal searching a chip into an 8-point game. That defense has helped. Abraham comes out with it. It's a 2-point game at the break. Then Taylor explodes. Now it's Abraham. Granger, good spin. Granger, no. O'Connell, 4v2. Breon pass sprints ahead. Another and one for NC State.
Once again, NC State's defense led to an easy opportunity for Breon pass to finish strong at the rim. And it all starts with Huntley-Hatfield's contest. Michael O'Connell, as expected, is going to make the right read in transition.
So Jones with 3 fouls, all on and ones in the half. So Rasheed heads to the bench. That's a big scoring output. Andrea Maleba will check in for the 15-point sharpshooter. Maybe Breon pass is just faster with his shirt untucked. Back-to-back, fast break layups. He's got 3 points.
If you're Coastal Carolina, someone else is going to need to step up. Rasheed Jones is out the game. Someone else is going to have to step up so that NC State doesn't take this lead away.
Abraham beats the press. Or the Pack have forced a flurry of turnovers in the second half. That aggressive defense right here. Tough catch for Amenhauser, 30 feet from the bucket. Battle spins, backs him down. Clock to 3. Amenhauser pushing, no. And a shot clock violation. Michael O'Connell anchoring a strong defensive outing.
Another shot clock violation for NC State. And one thing that NC State did on that possession was they switched multiple screens. And that caused Coastal Carolina to be uncomfortable on the offensive end.
NC State on this end shooting at 60% out of the break. They've sped up their offense to get good looks. So Middlebrooks up, way off. He's 1 of 3 this year from deep. And Kevin Keatts said, I want Ben to take some of those shots.
That look is going to be there. That look is going to be there. And he's proven that he can shoot that in practice. And I think that's why Kevin Keatts doesn't overreact whenever he comes up short on his shots.
Had not attempted a 3, at least in the regular season until this year, but finding his range. Maleba, a lot of switching defensively. Nearly a steal. Battle swings it. Abraham off on the triple. Breon pass, sizing up Abraham. A couple of undersized 5-foot guards going after it. Taylor wants contact, and he gets his wish, a foul on Hines. So NC State 1 foul away from the bonus.
Jayden Taylor has done an excellent job putting pressure on the defense. In the first half, turned it over a few times, but his second half, he's been much cleaner in terms of his approach and the reads whenever he drives.
And pardon me, now in the 1-and-1 the rest of the way as Trey Parker checks in. Trey Parker, who's trending on TikTok, 650,000 followers.
Trey Parker is a walking highlight. Have you seen him in warm-ups?
Oh my gosh, he needs those videos on TikTok.
Unbelievable.
Dynamic personality. Are you much of a social media guy?
Not too much. I need to be on it a little more, but no, I'm not at all.
Well, you got the suit and tie game going. That's part 1.
Trying to get like you.
Part 2, get the followers. Part 3, start living the good life. As Taylor hits another free throw. With Casey Morcell and Evan Budrovich, Lucas Raycraft, our producer tonight. An inadvertent horn, so ignore that for the moment. Amenhauser pressured. And Rashid Jones comes right back in with those 3 fouls. Coastal 5 second-half turnovers. That's been a bugaboo. Amenhauser versus Middlebrooks. Banging, bodies, dunk! Big boy collision down low.
I thought Ben Middlebrooks could have sold that a little more. Great idea.
That was a battle of yesteryear. Old DJ Burns in the block here at NC State. Very physical. Amenhauser showing his strength. Middlebrooks attacks. Good hands, Amenhauser. He's got some paws down there. Now in transition, Amenhauser setting it up. Abraham weaving. Running through the lane for 40 days and 40 nights. And another defensive foul on Middlebrooks. I don't know, is the Austrian being handed out tonight?
I think that was a great no call by the refs.
Right, because if a player's leaning with the shoulder or really emphasizes, sometimes you get that call. Amenhauser on this end continues to work. That's Huntley-Hatfield battling and affects the shot. Up ahead, pass. A rare slow possession for NC State. But that's 3 in the key, maybe 2 slow. And one of those times where it's hard to find your big man down low.
I think Huntley-Hatfield, as I've seen, is a little frustrated. Believes that he was open. He had his man sealed just a little too long, which caused the 3 seconds.
That's the 3rd time he's been called for a 3 in the key. The Louisville transfer, honorable mention all conference last year. And that's part of it too, finding your rhythm in terms of paint touches and how to get the ball.
Just like anything else, whenever you have a group of new guys, it's essential just to build that chemistry.
Fantastic find from Abraham. No chemistry issue on that one. Now back to a 9-point game. It was a 2-point difference at halftime. Huntley-Hatfield operating. It's Parker. Parker weaves and hits it.
That's a high-level move by Trey Parker. Kind of looked like a Euro step just to get that separation and finish.
And it snaps a 3-minute scoring drought for the Pack. Now some pressure. Long pass, knocked away, incomplete. It's 2nd and 10. We'll take the timeout early in the second half. NC State extending its lead up 11. We got plenty more from the Lenovo Center. The Upstate. How about Mr. Dean for Upstate with 20 points, leading the way for the Spartans?
Mr. Dean was a guy who also caused a lot of problems for NC State. The ACC is wide open this year.
It's a league where only 2 ranked, but there's plenty of good clubs, including Miami coming in, having a breakout year. There's a jump ball possession. Graduate transfer guard Nigel Pack, ACC Player of the Week. That's a club I don't think you want to sleep on come March Madness time. This league continues to impress. Fresh off an NC State run to the Final Four in the ACC.
I think it's still very early. A lot of teams are still just trying to figure it out.
Inside of 12 minutes, here's a steal. Bryce Hurd lobs it. That's tipped. The dunk in transition. Whoa. Trey Parker hard to the floor. And Kevin Keatts congratulating his effort.
Strong move by Trey Parker, finishing at the rim. If you're a freshman, that's how you're going to get on the court. It's through those energy plays on the defensive end. Bryce Hurd taking it away and Trey Parker doing his role of running in transition and finishing strong.
The officials checking to see if this needs to be upgraded to a technical foul. Terry Oglesby and crew will check it out. A lot of times they check, are the arms extended? Is there any extra physicality there?
It's tough to call. I mean, there were definitely guys under him. I think it was unintentional, but it's just a freak accident.
He sort of got clipped as he was halfway in the air. Parker still walking that off for the Fayetteville native from Overtime Elite. And it remains a regular foul. Meanwhile, NC State has turned a 2-point game at the break into a 13-point difference and a chance to add to it. And Parker's earning his battle wounds like a baseball player getting hit by a pitch. They're not trying to show the pain, but it's hurting right now.
It's the last thing you can do is show it.
Keatts will keep Parker in there, so good toughness from the freshman. And now active defense from Hill with Jones back in the game. Remember, Rasheed Jones, he's the shooting guard coming into the year, but D.A. Houston remains out with an injury. The College of Charleston transfer. Battle 3. Coastal needed that one. Offensive board, Jones in the trees. He hits it. What a move by Denzel Hines.
Hines doing a great job keeping it alive. That's what they're going to need to do in order to stay in this game with NC State. They're going to need second and third opportunities because that's what NC State is doing on the other end. Strong move by Denzel Hines.
That is some old school toughness. So made Armando Bacot so dangerous in the ACC as a multi-time player of the year. That guy could grind down low. He was physical, and Hines showing that effort on this end for Coastal. Now in a 12-point game. Coastal's been excellent, 8 of 8 from the free throw line.
you're Coastal, after being in 2 close games this season, you know that you can't beat yourself.
Amenhauser gets away with some contact. O'Connell fights for it. And a reach in. Now, if that's on Mio, that's his 5th. It is not on Mio, but Jones now has 4.
It's a huge call if you're Coastal Carolina. Rashid Jones is the heart and soul of this Coastal Carolina team. And when he's out, Coastal seems to struggle getting into their offense, which is what they want to do. And that's where they score at a high rate, is when they're able to run their plays.
And Jones has over 40% of the points tonight. It's first of 2 in this 1-and-1. Look at that foul differential, +5 for the Pack. 16 more free throws. The confused look from Rashid Jones. We're going to get a bucket here for the Chants without Jones on the floor.
NC State switches up their press, going into a 2-2-1. Causes confusion for Coastal Carolina.
Leads to a quick turnover. Pack will slow it down. Hatfield, good screen. Parker dishes. Huntley-Hatfield stripped. Amenhauser. And then more active hands. Here comes Abraham. Can he lead his Chants through the desert of a pressure defense here in Raleigh? Nice dish. Amenhauser, quick look.
That play left Mike O'Connell in a tough position, not knowing if he should take away the basket or the open 3.
Another steal, Amenhauser. Coastal on the move, 4v2. Hines drives in, and free throws coming up. So here's Coastal taking a piece at NC State's page.
Denzel Hines knows that Rashid Jones is out of the game. He knows he's going to have to step up and be the guy. And he's been the guy from his energy. That's what's leading him to get to the line multiple times. His energy of attacking the glass, forcing second and third opportunities.
So Rashid Jones having 4 fouls. It's up to the bench here. And this is Denzel Hines missing the free throw. Now remember, here at NC State, if an opponent misses 2 free throws, free Chick-fil-A for everyone in attendance.
This place gets loud. That's the loudest that it may get, is when someone misses 2 free throws and everyone can get a free Chick-fil-A sandwich.
We'll have to wait another time for that. 1-2. But here's Coastal on a 5-0 spurt. Get right back in. Jayden Taylor, top scorer, sitting in the corner with 20. So Parker attacks, gets the switch, nice bucket, and the Pack are living in the mid-range tonight.
Well, they're doing a great job of reading the ball screens. Coastal Carolina is trying to ice, as I mentioned earlier, meaning they're trying to avoid the guards from coming off of the ball screens. And Trey Parker just backed it out and read the defense, which led to him to get to an open shot.
Battle through 4. Nifty find, Hines. Hines in the trees, blocked by Taylor. Here's O'Connell. O'Connell misses. Tip drill, no. Foul on Coastal. Double bonus the rest of the way.
Bryce Hurd has a bright future for this NC State team. The way he plays at such a young age, and he knows how he's going to stay on the floor. He knows that he's going to be able to stay on the floor through his defense and energy. And that's something that he's starting to master the more and more comfortable that he gets.
Bryce Hurd, the 2 freshmen to the line. And this is unique in an age of transfers and grad seniors. Hurd just turned 18 a month ago, young kid, but making an impact as a 4-star recruit. What a challenge, too, at 18 years old to acclimate yourself to high-level college basketball.
But you got to grow up fast. You have to grow up fast. He plays very mature, right? I mean, there aren't many guys, especially young freshmen, who know that, okay, I'm not going to be the main scorer, so I'm going to go and make a difference by getting deflections and second and third opportunities.
Couple of assists, couple steals for Hurd, and now part of the press that Hines puts on the B button. Jones back in the game with 4 fouls. Nice ball. Majak, Abraham. That's off. Rebound, Doof. Taylor, way off on the 3. And last touch by State. Never mind. Last touched by Coastal.
Tough shot by Jayden Taylor. I thought he thought he was probably feeling it.
One of the few times a coach barking at the officials works, as Taylor takes advantage with a floater. Loose ball to Coastal. And Kevin Keatts, looking at that line, said, hey, those size 16s, they're over. A lot of space for Majak. Mio playing with 4. No room to enter this NC State defense. So Mio goes the long way and draws a foul. More free throws for Coastal.
Mio doing a great job attacking the rim. He notices that NC State is lacking a shot blocker. And I expect Coastal to continue to drive with Ismail Diouf as the 5-man.
An undersized Coastal lineup wants to crack into this 14-point game. As the shots are now 10 of 11 from the stripe. Villanova's club, 81% a year ago. That led the country. It's been a slow start for Nova this year, but really good free throw shooting tonight here in Raleigh. The Cookie Monster makes me laugh. What's your favorite head there?
I would say the Twinkie. Is that a Twinkie?
Yeah, that'd be delicious. I want to taste it and see it. Up here at the Lenovo Center. Fun look for the marketing staff. And we have a foul underneath, leading to a media timeout. 12-point game here in Raleigh. NC State searching for a 3-0 start when we return. Breaking out in the second half.
Trey Parker is doing a great job of reading coverage, something that a lot of freshmen struggle with. And he's doing a great job of letting the game come to him. As you see there, the defender settles back, and that's when he decides to just get to his sweet spot and pull up. He's been a huge asset for this NC State team.
Parker's last game, he didn't score. 0-3 from the field. Much different story tonight as he hits the bench with 11 points. He's part of a couple and ones, and he's playing through a lot of pain tonight, hitting the floor hard in the second half. Looks unfazed. As Dontre Styles extends the lead. The Kinston native. Man, that's a great town for NBA basketball. Brandon Ingram, Rasheed Wallace, this next generation here. A great place for high school hoops.
And Dontre Styles was a high-level recruit, initially starting off at North Carolina. And he has high-level experience making a Final Four appearance with that North Carolina team. He brings that experience to NC State, which would be very valuable.
Played at Georgetown under the Patrick Ewing staff. Now comes here to NC State. And a foul on the jump shot. So Chanticleer's back to the free throw line.
Once again, Jordan Battle noticing that NC State is lacking rim presence, which causing him to drive and pick up a foul.
Listen to this place rocking. and silenced by the free throw. Students want Chick-fil-A.
You know what's interesting is that it's going to get louder as the game goes on.
It's like a slow chorus that builds momentum, and over the course of time that high note hits. So Battle in the shots, 12 of 13 from the line. That continues. And Coastal entered this game at 62%. Basketball's hard sometimes. I can't figure it out.
Coastal Carolina has been getting good looks tonight for the most part. NC State has been trying to speed them up.
Offensive board, Doof. Doof to the bucket, 2 more. 10th different player to score for the Pack.
Sharp finish by Doof on that play. And that's something that we're going to see a lot from NC State, is a variety of points from different people, right? It's not going to be one guy every night. There's going to be a guy there could potentially be a guy each night who steps up.
Late in the shot clock is Kevin Keatts' club. A lot of balance offensively. Battle with 5. Attacks. Battle hangs and misses. Defensive board. Kevin Keatts noted, he said, hey, in 30 games, we could have 25 different leading scorers this year. And for a program that's had 7 different leading scorers in 7 years, nothing new for the Pack. There's a foul on Coastal here. And here's the first career points for Ismail Doof at his NC State career.
And that's a good way to get your first points, getting an offensive rebound and going up strong.
The balance of this Pack team, 10 players have scored. Taylor's got 20, Huntley-Hatfield with 12. And now a foul out situation. Hines is fouled out, so a quick timeout for Coastal. I know there's a time limit on these, but I feel like, okay, the guy fouls out, you just sub, right? I know it's a little gamesmanship there.
Well, we got to have a conversation about what's next.
Yeah, we got to talk about when the new guy comes in. Now, I understand what you're saying.
Especially when you lose a guy like Denzel Hines. I mean, he's been great for this Coastal Carolina team tonight. 14 points, 8 rebounds. Losing a guy like him, you need to go and have a conversation about it.
It'll lead to Hines sitting out after a good performance, 14 and 8. Styles gets the home bounce. This was a 2-point game at half, but the mid-range jumpers and fast break points for the Pack starting to pull away. Trey Styles makes both, and the Pack have 30 free throw attempts tonight.
NC State back in the full court press, intended to disrupt tempo and force turnovers. As I mentioned earlier, one thing that Coastal has struggled with is running plays. And NC State has done that by blowing up and denying the wings.
Battle here, battling O'Connell. No pun intended, and a foul on O'Connell. That's Michael's 3rd. Hill has 4, but no one else in foul trouble for NC State. I know O'Connell's sweating up a storm, but he's got that Hollywood actor vibe with his look. The nice sheen, good haircut. Unfazed.
That is Mike O'Connell. Stays poised throughout it all.
Could you ever rattle him? Get in his head?
Never, never. He's one of the toughest guys to get under his skin.
Second-year transfer O'Connell coming in from Stanford. Got to stay cool in a classroom loaded with academics there at Stanford.
Good point.
Because when you got Stanley in your face and Yoda making things confusing, how do you keep your cool here if you're Battle? Timeout Coastal to talk this over. And that'll become a quick timeout. We'll step aside for 30 seconds here in this. Welcome back to the Lenovo Center. NC State, Coastal Carolina, first meeting since 1998. No player was alive back then. Kevin Keatts certainly was. He was back at Hargrave Military Academy winning a national title back in '98. And his Wolfpack have turned a 2-point halftime lead into 13 thanks to 3 in double figures, led by Taylor's 20. So we have a foul, a push away from the ball on Amenhauser. And then Granger called for it. That's his third.
Huntley-Hatfield putting a lot of pressure on Granger.
And they'll give you that one hand defensively, but the second and that shove usually gets called.
You're right. And Huntley-Hatfield, he's really good at causing the defender to bring up that extra hand, putting the defender in a shoving motion.
Yeah, so the arm bar is one thing. He's also slippery like butter. You can't really get your hands on that offensive player. A chance to extend what's the largest lead at 15. Now back to 14 here in the last 6 minutes. Rasheed Jones playing with 4 fouls for Coastal. Abraham dishes. Granger drives and one. Don't flip the channel just yet.
It's weird. When Coastal Carolina runs their plays, they tend to get easy opportunities to score. Strong finish by Granger.
Strong facial expression, strong finish off the window. And Justin Gray's team's not dead just yet. Coastal is 16 of 17 from the line. Pack on this end running the ball through true freshman Trey Parker a lot tonight. He's got double figures. Taylor on the switch, misses, loose ball. Who touched it? Stays here.
Once again, Jayden Taylor doing a great job of getting in the paint. That's what they're going to need from Jayden throughout this whole season. I mean, he's going to have to step up and be a high-level scorer for this NC State team.
Taylor's putting up a 20 spot tonight. Tough hang and hit. Pack respond with Hill. Every time Coastal gets on a run, the Pack have hit a couple of mid-range J's as Abraham dribbles in traffic. And he traveled.
Once again, NC State's pressure causing a turnover. And that's what NC State relies on to win, forcing turnovers and forcing you to play fast. Because this Coastal Carolina team isn't used to playing fast, having one of the slowest tempos in the country.
And NC State's forced 19 of those turnovers. How does that help them come Colgate facing a 3-time Patriot League champ?
Similar team to Coastal Carolina, NC State's going to have to speed them up. Colgate's a team that wants to run their offense, and they're a high-level shooting team. So that's going to be a good one, and that's going to test NC State's pressure.
Matt Langle's club last year, 90 points a game. Really good offensively for Colgate. That's coming up early next week on Monday. Battle off the pick, final 5 minutes. Underneath, Granger spins. Bank is strong. Loose ball on the collision. NC State getting everybody involved in this possession. So Styles goes to work. He's got 8.
Now that's a high-level move by Dontrez Styles. You can tell he works on that.
You can tell this whole NC State team practices mid-range jumpers.
That's been something that has worked in their favor.
It's a shot that's analytically not as friendly, but it's been a benefit at over 50% tonight. Now on this end, Coastal down 15, largest deficit.
You see here,
Mio heaves. That's off. And it'll stay here. Dontrez Styles in the Pack, now up 15 over Coastal.
Strong move by Dontrez Styles. getting straight to his sweet spot to help NC State get a strong lead.
Colgate, and then all of a sudden Purdue, obviously Ole Miss in the tournament over Thanksgiving week, and then Texas. Like, this tournament amps up the next 3 weeks for NC State.
Well, if you're NC State, it's essential to build your identity as quick as possible. They got a strong schedule coming up, and it's essential not to get in a deep hole. Later towards the end of that 5-game stretch, they got a significant amount of quad one opportunities, which is all you ask for as a player.
So 3 in double figures tonight. What makes that team dangerous come these top-ranked opponents?
Well, those top-ranked opponents, that's what you're going to have to go through if you want to hang a banner. And I think this NC State team is figuring out their identity, and that's going to be a key when you're playing against high-level opponents.
As Styles gets the board, his turn, make it 4 in double figures. Styles with 10. That's an added piece for NC State. Last year's team, there was some elite scoring, but not necessarily 4 or 5 in double figure. That's a new touch tonight.
And that could serve as a lot of value. It's tough to scout when all 5 guys can score at a high level.
As Mio misses the 3, it'll stay here. Those quad one wins, so important, especially in a loaded ACC. Out of conference victories.
NC State starting to break away. Could expect Kevin Keatts to go deeper down his bench.
Nearly a 5-second call, and Amenhauser catches it. He's playing with some foul trouble. Jones and Mio have 4. Here's Jones dancing. Nice move. Left hand. No. Tip drill. Yes. This dude's a baller.
Strong move by Rashid Jones.
As Skip Bayless would say, he's a player, he's a baller, he's a playmaker, and a shot caller. And then unleash Tim Tebow when the whole song goes.
I like that. I like that.
Good old Tebow back with the Broncos. He was cooking back then. Here's Styles. Unable to hit that one, but a good night with 10. Battle on this end. Has these and count it. Hold on a second. 13-point game.
Battle's done an exceptional job of driving the ball and putting pressure on NC State's defense.
Battle's ability to change speeds, too. It's hard to defend because you don't know when he's going to attack.
One thing about Battle, too, is that he's realizing that NC State is lacking a rim protector, and that causes Battle to get in the mode of driving and getting to the line.
Free throw shooting continues. 17 of 18. That's the best all year for Coastal. Would you consider this gym an easy gym to shoot free throws in, or difficult?
Depends on who you are. Each player has a different preference, but I would say it's been fairly easy.
Well, you shot over 75% here at Lenovo in your career.
Oh, wow.
From the free throw line.
You taught me something.
We learn something new every day here on ACC Network Extra. Pack up 12 in this newly named Lenovo Center. Mr. Wolf, pretty happy. His club's up 12. So is Jayden Taylor. He's got 21. 7 shy of his career best. Fresh off a Final Four year in a tournament championship for NC State.
And that's going to serve as a lot of value for this NC State team. Having a guy like Jayden Taylor as the leader of the team with that Final Four experience, it's essential for him to lead and help get them back there.
A quick 30 for Kevin Keatts. And Taylor's the biggest returning piece. O'Connell, part of that as well. Middlebrooks. But you played on a team that made a Final Four. It's a lot different when you have new pieces that are the leaders on that group.
Yeah, it's going to take time, right? I mean, this NC State team brings in so many new faces that are playing a significant amount of minutes. And you have to understand that it's not all about where you start. It's where you finish.
Well, look at where NC State starts. 8th in the league. They were a double-digit seed a year ago and won the tournament. Obviously, Cooper Flagg and Duke, elite expectations. I am curious with Wake, one of the last teams out last year, Hunter Salas. He combines with Trayvon Spillers. How dangerous the Deeks can be this year.
The Deeks, You can never count them out. They're always going to be in it. The way they play, that style of play, Kyle Hildreth, he's going to keep them in the mix to win an ACC championship. And like I said earlier, the ACC is wide open. It can go anywhere.
Only 2 ranked teams at the moment, but there's plenty of good clubs here in this conference. As ACC play, believe it or not, begins December 7th, right around the corner. Down low, Amenhauser here in the final minute and a half. Battles Doof. Amenhauser, shot fake. That's in, good bucket. He's a force down low.
Strong move by Amenhauser. We haven't seen much of him tonight due to him getting in foul trouble in the first half.
Doof's got some range too, but that's off. Coastal will gear up for Jacksonville State and then a road tournament in Indianapolis. So Jones heaves, a rare miss. Amenhauser the board. He's fouled on the way up, and free throws. The shots under first-year coach Justin Gray will hit the road 5 of the next 6, including the Bulldog Bash up in Indianapolis. And then head back down to the state to take on Upstate and Campbell the next 2 weeks. Coastal Carolina is going to send a lot of students home disappointed tonight. No Chick-fil-A.
You never know. It's a minute left. Anything can happen.
That's a fun tradition here at NC State. You miss 2, you come home with some treats. And Rasheed Jones will sub out for the last time, at least for the moment. Really good minutes as Mio enters. And that's the look of, well, I guess I'm not getting lunch tomorrow. I need some new plans. Could head to the Pit Barbecue here in Raleigh, a local favorite establishment. Parker off the screen. What a nice debut in his freshman season. Parker's got 13.
Strong performance from Trey Parker tonight. Once again, doing an excellent job of reading the defensive coverage. And that's propelled him to get plenty of opportunities right in the paint for easy pull-ups or finishes.
2 transfers and a true freshman with double figures for the Pack. Maleba cuts in. He's got a fine. Mio's 3. A bit short. And this should run out the clock. Pack want a couple more. Parker, when you're feeling it, you're feeling it. That one's a bit strong. NC State will extend its all-time series, a 4-0 lead over Coastal. That shot way off. And that'll end a wire-to-wire victory for NC State. 4 in double figures. And Kevin Keatts' squad escapes the 12-point win.
Great job by NC State finding a way to hold on to the lead. And it all started with how they came out